Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all, and let's just get right into this review. So at the very beginning of this episode, Evelyn and Jennifer end up meeting up to talk about what happened in last week's episode when it came to Shaunie's little get-together that she put together for all the girls, and they were talking about what went down with Jackie. Now, Evelyn did say during this conversation with Jennifer that even though she does feel like Jackie can be problematic, she did enjoy her little back and forth that she had with Jackie and the banter that the two of them have. She said that it was fun and it was funny, and those are the moments with Jackie that she actually misses, and Jennifer actually agreed with her. So see, this is what I was saying. They're not about to keep beefing with Jackie every single episode. At some point, they're going to get bored with it and they're going to set their sights on somebody else on the show. And so what's going to happen is Evelyn, Jennifer, Brandi, and all of them are going to end up making up with Jackie. I don't think that Brooke will, but I think the other girls will. And then they're going to end up turning on one of the other girls in the group. And I honestly believe that Brandi is going to be the one that everybody ends up turning on, and she's going to be public enemy number one, because in this episode, Brooke actually ends up throwing herself a party to celebrate her divorce. Not necessarily a divorce party, but to celebrate this new chapter in her life. And so she invites everybody to come, and Brandi is there, and she's talking with Jennifer, Jac'el, and Evelyn, and she starts talking about how she doesn't think that Brooke should be with this guy Kevin, and she feels like she's moving too quickly, and everybody was kind of looking at her sideways because they didn't understand why she was saying these things about Brooke's relationship. Now, during this conversation, I don't think that Brandi was really saying anything wrong. I think that she was saying what all the other girls were thinking, but they were too afraid to say to Brooke because they didn't know how she was going to take it. And I do think that Brooke was moving a little bit too fast with this guy. I think that she does fall in love very quickly. I just think that the way that Brandi was handling the situation was wrong, like the way that she was saying things and how she was discussing it with other people. I just feel like it was a little bit too soon for her to be making the comments that she was making, but I do think that she was right, and she had a right to be concerned about her friend because she was moving too fast. She barely even knew this guy, and she was getting ready to move in with this man and marry him so quickly. Now, during Brooke's party, Jac'el actually ended up asking Brooke to officiate her wedding, and she got really emotional while talking about their friendship. And look, I think that it's great if they have a genuine friendship with each other. Maybe they have a friendship outside of the show that we haven't gotten to see, so maybe they're a lot closer than a lot of us think they are. However, if you're watching just the show and their relationship on the show, it seems kind of odd that she would ask her to officiate her wedding, because to me, they don't seem very close. But like I said, they don't show everything on the show, so we don't know if their relationship is stronger outside of it. Now, in this episode, Brooke and her boyfriend Kevin were supposed to be house hunting together, and this is why Brandi is saying that Brooke is moving too fast, because they just got together and they're already looking for houses. But Kevin doesn't end up showing up to look at houses because he claims that he was too busy, and you can tell that Brooke was very disappointed. In fact, she said in her confessional that she was very disappointed in the fact that this is not the first time that Kevin has bailed on her, because he's done it plenty of times before, and they actually ended up showing clips of the different times that he ended up bailing on her, and it was really sad. Specifically the scene where she went to go get tacos for them, and he called her up and told her that he was unable to come, so she was sitting down eating by herself at a table. I thought that that was unacceptable, and I feel like she deserves better than that. She did say that their relationship was good outside of the fact that he doesn't really have much time for her, and I think that she needs to really consider that if she's deciding to marry this man, because if they get married, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden he's going to open up a bunch of time for her. Like, that's not how it's gonna be. Now, Brandi and Brooke actually do end up meeting up for a one-on-one conversation in this episode, and Brooke actually ends up telling Brandi that her relationship with Kevin is over because he didn't really have enough time for her, and she was really sad about it. And instead of Brandi actually comforting Brooke and trying to make her feel better about it, she just wanted to have an "I told you so" moment, and that's where Brooke was having a disconnect when it came to Brandi, because even though I feel like Brandi was genuinely concerned about Brooke and that she was moving a little bit too fast, the way that she was approaching the situation to me was wrong. It was kind of a haha, I told you so in her face, and Brooke actually told her during this conversation that she didn't want to hear the "I told you so's." And I just feel like Brandi was being insensitive to Brooke's feelings, because she started saying that everybody knew that it wasn't gonna last between the two of them, and I just feel like it was kind of wrong of her to say that. Like, I do think that you should be honest with your friends, and if you do feel like your friend is moving too fast and you're concerned, I do think that you should express that to your friend. However, You don't need to too invested in their business and then talking about it with other people, and then when they say that the relationship has ended, you say, haha, I told you so. Like, I just feel like Brandi was right that she was moving too fast. She just handled it wrong, and Brooke really was not feeling the way that Brandi was coming at her. And Brooke told Brandi straight up, I'm not listening to your advice because you told me to stay with my cheating ass husband. And I think that she was right about that, because I thought that Brandi was wrong for telling Brooke that she should stay with her husband after he cheated on her. Like, just because Brandi decided to stay with her husband after he cheated on her numerous amounts of times doesn't mean Brooke wants to do the same thing. I think Brooke made the right decision by choosing to end her marriage, because honestly, he did step outside of the marriage, and that is very disrespectful. And if it's not something that she's going to be able to move on from, it's not fair for the both of them for them to stay together. Because a lot of the times people don't really get over being cheated on. Sometimes they'll hold on to it and then it'll come up in an argument later on in the relationship. And so both people kind of suffer because, number one, you don't trust the other person and they constantly have to hear it thrown in their face. And then you're constantly stressed out because you think every time they leave the house or anytime they're on the phone, they're talking to somebody else. So it's just a not healthy situation. Now, when Brooke made the comment that she feels like once a man cheats, he's gonna cheat again, and that's the reason why she didn't listen to Brandi when Brandi was telling her to stay with her husband, that's when Brandi jumped into the conversation and started saying that Brooke's husband only cheated on her one time. And Brooke was absolutely right when she said this, because Brooke told Brandi that she doesn't know if her husband only cheated on her one time. She knows about one time, but she doesn't know if he was doing it multiple different times. And so that's when Brandi ended up asking Brooke if she thinks that her husband is cheating on her. And obviously Brooke paused. It was kind of a long pause. And she said, I hope he isn't cheating on you. Everybody knows that Brandi's husband is probably still cheating on her, because at the end of the day, he didn't face any consequences for cheating on her, because she still stayed with him after he did it. That's why he continues to do it so many different times, because he knows that she's not going to leave. So he doesn't really feel like he has to respect the relationship, because Brandi is showing that she doesn't really respect herself by staying with a man who puts her at risk, because he's cheating with all these women. He could have brought her home a disease or something. Like, it's just really insensitive and it's selfish. Now, Shaunie and Jackie end up meeting up in this episode to talk about what happened in the last episode when Shaunie ended up putting together the group dinner and things didn't really go well between Jackie, Evelyn, and Brooke. Things kind of went left and they were getting into a bunch of arguments. Things almost turned physical. It just got really crazy really quickly. Now, Jackie did admit that she did start turning up a little bit when, Brooke started calling her names, because she felt like she came into the event trying to talk things out and take accountability, and nobody was really trying to hear what she had to say. So she was really at a loss for words at this point, because if she apologized and she took accountability for the things that she said about everybody, and then nobody wants to accept the fact that she took accountability, what's left for her to do, honestly? Now, Shaunie did not have the same energy with Jackie that she had after Jackie ended up leaving the event in last week's episode, because when Jackie left that event in last week's episode, Shaunie was kind of talking about Jackie with the other girls and saying that she almost thanked her for her services, basically saying that she was going to fire Jackie. But then when they sat down to have this one-on-one conversation, Shaunie was being extra nice and understanding to Jackie. She even told Jackie that she understood that when she called Sunday on the phone and she was venting her frustrations and she was saying things out of anger, that she understood where Jackie was coming from, because everybody has called their friends up when they're mad at somebody and said things out of anger. She just wished that Jackie would have called her and talked to her about whatever frustration she had with her. So they had a really calm, cool, and collective conversation. But I just felt like it was funny to me, because I knew that Shaunie wasn't going to thank Jackie for her services, because a lot of people be in the comment sections, even people who don't like Jackie, and say that if Jackie leaves the show, they're not going to watch it anymore because it's not going to be as entertaining. Now, it's the day of Jac'El's wedding, and honestly, it was really nice, small, and intimate, which I really liked about it. Even though a lot of their family members couldn't come because they couldn't make it to LA, they still had a really beautiful wedding ceremony, and I think that, I got kind of emotional watching it because their vows were really beautiful. And I think that even though I thought it was kind of odd that she chose Brooke to officiate her wedding, I think Brooke did a really good job and it was really nice to see. But at the wedding reception, it was kind of awkward between Brandi and Brooke, because you could tell that Brooke was still upset at the fact that Brandi said the things that she said about her relationship when they met up earlier in the episode. I think she felt like Brandi was judging her and Brandi was overstepping her boundaries. I also feel like Brooke doesn't feel like Brandi has a right to coach anybody about relationships, relationships when she's married to a man that cheated on her continuously and she refuses to leave the relationship. So things were definitely awkward between the two of them. They were barely even speaking. And so when Brooke walked away, Evelyn and Jennifer were still sitting down with Brandi, and Brandi turns to Jennifer and starts telling Jennifer about Brooke's breakup. And honestly, this is where I feel like Brandi overstepped her boundaries, because if Brooke did not open up to Jennifer about her breakup, I feel like she had no business telling Jennifer about it. If Brooke wants to tell Jennifer about her relationship problems, she will do that herself. I don't feel like it was Brandi's place to do that. And Evelyn was sitting over there listening to everything that Brandi and Jennifer was saying, and so obviously she's gonna go back and tell Brooke what was being said. And Jennifer was kind of talking a little bit of shit about Brooke's relationship as well, because Jennifer was saying how she did think that, you know, Brooke moves too fast and she falls really quickly. And then she made a comment that Brooke was trying to compare how quick her relationship was to her relationship with Christian, and Jennifer did not want her relationship compared to that because she feels like they didn't rush into things, which is crazy because Jennifer is honestly making the mistake of actually marrying this man. Brooke didn't marry the guy. She was planning on marrying him and she was trying to move in with him, but as soon as she saw the red flag, she decided not to do it. So I feel like, you know, Brooke was a lot smarter than Jennifer, because Jennifer is about to marry this man who owes a bunch of money, and I don't even think that he's being truthful about who he is as a person. So she's making a mistake herself. So why are the two people who have the worst relationship history giving so much advice? So Evelyn gets really bothered by the things that Brandi and Jennifer are saying about Brooke's relationship, and so she goes over to Brooke and she tells her everything that Brandi was over there saying. And Brooke was really upset at the fact that Brandi was discussing her business with Jennifer because she didn't share these things with Jennifer herself. So Brooke had a problem with that, and rightfully so. So Brooke decided that she was going to leave the reception early, and she ends up going up to where Jennifer, Brandi, and Evelyn were sitting down, and she kisses and hugs Evelyn and Jennifer and says bye to them, and then she walks right by Brandi and tells her that she'll talk to her later. And so obviously Brandi felt some type of way about the way that, you know, Brooke left without giving her a hug. So she ends up questioning Evelyn about what she said to Brooke that has her mad at her, and basically Evelyn said that she just told her that they were over there having a conversation. And so obviously Brandi feels some type of way, but she shouldn't have been telling her friend's business to anybody else and discussing it with other people. I just feel like she definitely overstepped her boundaries. But this is why I said earlier in my review that everybody's about to not have an issue with Jackie anymore, because it's getting boring and they're going to turn their sights onto Brandi. But I'm not really going to feel bad for Brandi, because when everybody did it to Malaysia, she didn't care about it. And when everybody was ganging up on Jackie this season, she didn't care about it. So honestly, I'm not really going to feel too bad for her in this situation. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Basketball Wives LA. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.